every weekend when I was in high school, me and my buddies would get together and we would go fishing. And so that weekend was coming up, and I just knew that I had to get better because I had to go fishing with my buddies, because if I didn't, they were going to catch some fish and I was just going to get to hear about how I didn't get to catch those fish. And so I was to the point where I didn't care if I was sick, I was going. I had my fishing hunting clothes on and I was ready to go, and I was like, listen, I feel awesome thing up. I was just like, yes, you know, he's going to let me go. And we were just leaving my mom's store and going to Hector, but between my mom's store and Hector, Logan's grandparents' house was there, and we had to stop and get a stringer to put all our fish on. There was like this old dirt road that you could take and go to Logan's grandparents' house, and so we're driving down this dirt road, and I see when we get to their house they have this really cool ATV razor thing. It's called a Polaris razor. And so I told Blake, one of the other guys, I was like, hey, just take me for a ride on this. I said, I've never been on one. And I said, come on, let's go. And so he's like, you know, sure, let's go. The kid had never even drove a four-wheeler, and he's wanting to get on this high-powered ATV and take me for a ride on this. I was just down for a ride, you know. I mean, I didn't know. We get on this road and he just straight floors it, and we're going about 45-50 miles an hour. And when that thing hits gravel, he just loses control. And about 100 yards past the gravel, it just made a big S-curve. And when he hit that S-curve, it went down on my side, and I was trapped. And it just rolled, just straight on its side through him, and I was trapped and just rolling underneath. I mean, just rolling over and over. Well, all I remember is screaming, Blake, 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 like help me, because it was on top of me. And like I was just on my butt, just like pushed myself out from under it, and I just look at my body, and I have no skin on my arms, on my leg, on my side of my face. I had no skin on the right side of my body. And of course I was like, oh my gosh. Well, that was the last thing that I remember. My mom said that I called her, and she said, I called her on my phone, and I said, Mom, I've been in a wreck. I'm bleeding very bad. I don't know where I am, but I love you. And she said it went click. When I came out of the seat from it coming up off the ground and then sitting on the side, my head hit the rearview mirror and it just shattered. I don't know how I'm not blind in this eye from all that glass and that mirror shattering, but I came up like this to, like block my head, and that's when that glass just cut me right here, and it was just horrible. I remember riding in the ambulance, and my mom, was panicking. I started telling her that I was getting tired and that I was getting really sleepy, and she said, no, like you can't go to sleep. And she said the doctor just turned to her and shook her and said, if you let her go to sleep, that is less percentage that she's gonna make it. You have to keep her awake. That's like your heartbeat. Well, it started going lower and lower, and they were like, oh my gosh, like we're gonna have to like take all of our clothes off and do the heart thing. And I remember seeing that ambulance man cut my shirt. I was so mad. I was like, I cannot believe you're cutting my shirt. And my mom's like, Baylee, we can find you another shirt. You just got to let him do that. So I remember that woke me up. She said I never got tired again. And they rushed me into the hospital, and they put me in a little bed. And at that time, they didn't know if I was stable or not. They didn't know if I had crushed my skull or, fractured anything in my face. All they knew is that I'm gonna have to have immediate surgery because I'm losing a lot of blood. For the longest time, it took me almost 2 months to even ride in a vehicle without bursting into tears or anything like that. When I have kids, you bet they will wear a helmet every time. I mean, there ain't no joke to it, they will.